Outside Japan National Stadium with track and field expert, journalist, he does it all. Chris Chavez, you posted the other day, I love track and field. What a time it is to be a fan and a journalist of this sport. Some observations through a few days of competition.
Oh man, I mean the energy is at a super high level here at the National Stadium. I mean, anytime it feels like a Japanese athlete goes to the front of a race, this place erupts, and all of the athletes are feeding off of that energy. From start to finish, each one of the nights has just had tons of surprises. These races, at least on the distance side, have not been fast, so that's been good because it's been tactical, and that leads to some big heavy favorites getting knocked out and making things super interesting, I think, for at least this first half to continue to unfold.
People love to see records broken. This is a follow-up we didn't talk about, but you giving that analysis tweaks something. You talk about slow times,
yeah,
but we've seen some riveting finishes for the sport, for the casual fan. That's brilliant stuff.
Yeah, throw the clock away
Right.
at this point, because we're here at a championship and medals are on the line, and so it doesn't matter what the time on the clock is. It's all about winning and who gets to that finish line first. And so yeah, there have already been some big performances for me last night. Watching George Beamish, come away with that steeple victory after nearly getting his head stomped in the first
by
round.
a Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, for like photos were going viral, but I think even last night it just leveled up with that race finish going viral online, and big time upset, and we're going to see more of those, I think, in the days to come.
Well, that is a perfect segue to the 800 meter, a men's field that is absolutely stacked. And Marco Arope, the Canadian, is a defending champion, but Chris, he has flown under the radar. None of the pundits are picking him. Are you? And break this one down for us.
Oh man, see, the thing is, it's like Emmanuel Agnoni is so good,
Yeah.
and he's been on fire this whole entire season. Marco Arope, it's so hard for him to come under the radar because he's got so many medals and has proven himself at this stage. It's just that this year hasn't been perfect for him. He's tested out a variety of race tactics, and some of them have worked out, some of them have not, and so we don't know what Marco is going to have up his sleeve. He was definitely learning from all of those races, and so if he is putting the pieces together to come up with the perfect plan to take down Wagnoni, it's possible. I could definitely see him winning. Wagnoni is just a favorite, I think, coming into it at this point. But with how that event is being run and how fast a lot of people are running, there are, I think, legitimately 6 guys who could win that race.
But I think you would admit it's one thing to win a Grand Slam.
Yeah.
It's another thing to put together 3 great 800 meters on a global stage.
Yeah, and it's something that we've seen just with the 1500s as well, where
Right.
it's like we saw a lot of guys run historically fast times all throughout the season at these Diamond League meets, but there's no rabbits here, there's no pacemakers, and so when you throw all of that away, you got to perform on the day, and then maybe you get a day of rest, maybe you get half a day of rest, and then you come back and do that again. Marco has proven that he can do that, and so that's the experience side coming into one of his advantages at this meet.
From the middle distance to the sprints, we have our champions in the 100 meter. Now we look ahead to the 200 meter. What can we glean, Chris, about what we saw in the 100 going into the 200?
Yeah, I feel like this is the coronation of Melissa Jefferson-Wooden.
Okay.
She got the first gold medal in the 100. And then when you kind of size up the field, Gabby Thomas, the Olympic champion, is not here because, she's injured. And then the Olympic silver medalist was Julian Alfred, and she got a bronze medal in that 100. She's out, with a hamstring injury. So those are 2 really, really strong contenders, and Melissa's already proven that she can run fast. She won the U.S. title. The path is a little clear for her to get that gold medal in the 200 because of those absences. And then over on the men's side, similar thing too. Oblique Seville and Kishane Thompson, who went 1-2 for Jamaica and restored order in the sprints. For we're hearing it from the
Sure.
tiny island of Jamaica.
Right.
They're not running the 200. So Noah Lyles, he didn't have the perfect start to the season. He was injured, had to miss a lot of time, but throughout the season he's progressed, and that's a positive sign of things to come because the 200 is his baby, as he calls it, and he's the favorite, I think, coming into it. Maybe you could argue that Letsile Tebogo, who is the Olympic champion, can benefit from not having run that 100 and showing his cards. He was unfortunately DQ'd, but it's going to be a showdown between those 2 guys for sure.
I was so impressed at Noah's demeanor. Love him or hate him, he's a polarizing character. I don't have to
Certainly.
tell you that. But he was so wonderful with the media and the fans after winning a bronze medal.
Yeah.
He seems to be so at home here in Tokyo. What is your analysis of Noah?
He's a huge anime fan, right? So I
Right.
think with that and
He is
how
at home.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
certainly at home. And when he was here last time, at the Tokyo Olympics, he was in his own head, not in a great mental headspace, and a lot has changed in those 4 years. Working with a sports psych and all that stuff, he has done the things to level up as an athlete and also just get his head in the right space. Couple that with just all of the success in those years that has come. I mean, in addition to that, he's such a popular figure here, and I think the people have embraced him, so he feeds off of all of that energy. I just remember, I think it was at the Paris Olympics or at the Budapest World Championships, he got a little bit of a warning from officials for coming out way too amped up.
I think it might have been Paris when he blasted out of the tunnel. Yeah.
I mean, I could see another warning like that happening because of how excited he gets, in a setting like this. And so, it's just another extra edge for him going into that 200.
Well, every day I see Noah at the train station on my way to the stadium. He is a global superstar. He's always wanted to be. That leads us into the relays. And from a Canadian perspective, Chris, we love a relay because we shocked the world in Paris, did it in Eugene. I'll never forget that night. I think you were there as well. What can we expect from the Americans, first of all, because there seems to be trouble in paradise perhaps between Kenny and Noah, and it's always been about chemistry on the American quartet.
Yeah, it's always been about chemistry, and I think, it's funny to be an American, and we overanalyze even the littlest things.
Sure.
These little clips coming out of relay camp of them getting the baton around, and we're like, it's great that they're practicing because we haven't been able to get...
That's where the bar is.
Yeah, I think the bar is, let's get the baton around and we'll see where the medals land. I don't think anyone is in the position where, kind of jokingly at the World Relays, Noah saying who when it comes to Canada. Canada definitely put themselves, on the map over the last couple of years with the relays. But, there are some new threats that are outside of North America. South Africa put two guys in that 100-meter final, and so I look at them as potentially another medal contender in that 4x1.
You saw some giants of the sport from the United States sound off in the wake of the Paris disaster. I'm going to call it that. How important do you think it is for this American relay team to win gold here in Tokyo?
It's important because they're so good at it individually, and so it doesn't make sense that it can't come together. When we put four guys on a relay, and so from a historical standpoint, I think that getting a medal is a great starting point to set the table for what could potentially come down the line in Los Angeles. Whoa. It's a home Olympics, and especially when people move around and the schedule sometimes. And at this meet, the 4x1 is what closes things out. If that's going to be the standard for the next couple years, then in LA, you want to end the big show with a gold medal.
Well, we know what happened on American soil in 1996, Chris, with the Canadian quartet stunning the world in Atlanta. I have to get that in there. Okay, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to the rest of the way? Of course, we're coming off another Mondo world record, but what do you have your eye on the rest of the way here in Tokyo?
Yeah, the 1500s are just always a thrilling event. I just think there's so much drama that you can pack into 3.5 to 4 minutes, both on the men's and women's side. Tonight, we'll see Faith Kipyegon. And then over on the men's side, this has been a very surprising event. No Jakob Ingebrigtsen. Jared Naguse, the Olympic bronze medalist, didn't even qualify for this meet. And Cole Hawker, the Olympic champion, getting disqualified. So it's looking like it's going to be Josh Kerr, the reigning world champion, versus Niels Laros, who is a 20-year-old rising star, Diamond League champion. And with how the distance races have trended being slow, who's going to be the guy who's going to really make that race? That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'll be talking about from now until those guys are lined up on the track and it's all unfolding. So lots, I think, to watch over the next couple days. And so I'm just excited to be here, and it's excited to take all of it in.
Nothing like live sport. That's why we show up at the stadium. Chris Chavez, you're brilliant at what you do, and we appreciate you making time.
No, thank you so much.